Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Engineering Expo. My name is Shao, and you can call me Ricky. I'm a graduate researcher in the Scalable Systems Lab under the supervision of Professor Victor Zavala. Today, I will talk about optimization in daily life. Here is a little bit about myself. I'm currently a fourth-year graduate student in Chemical and Biological Engineering Department at UW-Madison and hope to graduate sometime next year. And my research topics include optimization, process design, and data science. In my spare time, I enjoy cycling, working out, bouldering, and playing Legos. Now let's dive into today's topic. First, I want you guys to think, when you hear the word optimization, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Some of you might think of it as a process that involves complicated math to find the best solution. Well, let's see what the dictionaries has towards optimization. According to the dictionary, it is to make something as perfect or effective as possible and to make the most of something. The dictionary is absolutely correct, and it isn't hard to understand, right? And in fact, many times we are doing optimizations implicitly. For example, have you ever tried to finish your homework as fast as possible in order to have more time for games? This is exactly optimization, and your brain is your internal optimizer that tries to optimize your time spent on homework. Now let's talk about a concrete example to see how optimization is used in daily life. Imagine that you are the teacher of your school. You have a bag of candies that contains candies of one orange flavor, one apple flavor, one watermelon, and two pineapple. You need to distribute these candies to your three students, Tom, Helen, and Alex, so that each student gets one candy. You also know that Tom loves orange flavor, Helen's favorite flavors are apple and peach, and Alex likes watermelon. And the question is, how should you distribute your candies so that each student are as happy as possible? Well, this isn't hard, right? Because we have enough candy and we have all the flavors that students like the most. So we can just distribute candies based on students' preferences to maximize happiness. Again, this isn't hard at all. Now let's consider something a little bit more interesting. Now you are still the teacher and you still have the same bag of candies. But now you have 5 students and you know their favorite and second favorite candy flavors. Again, you would like to distribute the candies so that each student gets one candy and they should be as happy as possible. In the green table, you can immediately realize that some students have the same preferences for candy flavors. But in the orange table, for most candies, we only have one piece. In order to give one candy to every student, it is impossible to satisfy every student's first choice, and some students will get their second choice. With this in mind, we can still manage to find a way to distribute the candies, for example, like this. This is definitely harder than the previous problem, right? As we have more students and limited candies to distribute. But it is still doable by hand and you can solve it within a minute. But in real life, usually we have a much larger bag of candies to distribute, and you are often in charge of many more students. You know their top 3 preferences, for example, and you still want to distribute candies to students so that each student gets one candy and they should be as happy as possible at the end. Due to the increased number of students and their preferences and the larger bag of candies, the problem has become too complicated to solve by hand. But when this situation occurs, people usually rely on a more systematic and scientific method called mathematical modeling to establish the problem, and then use the optimization tools to solve the problem. A mathematical model always contains three parts. First, you need to have an objective. This is the goal that you would like to achieve. For example, maximize the profit or minimize the cost. Second, constraints. To achieve the goal, you need to obey some rules or restrictions. For example, we would like to minimize the time to do the homework, but we need to obey the rule that we have to finish the entire homework, and it has to be of high quality. Eventually, there are unknowns, which are the decisions you make in order to achieve your goals. You might decide to spend, for example, 40 minutes on math and 20 minutes on history. How much time you decide to assign to each homework are the decisions you make. With these three elements, let's revisit our candy problem. In the candy problem, our objective is to maximize the total happiness of students after receiving their candy. And here are the rules that we need to obey. Each student will get one and only one candy, and the total number of candies distributed should not exceed the number in the bag. And the decisions you will make is what flavor of candy should each student get. This process is called mathematical modeling. And after you formulated this problem in mathematical terms, you are ready to use optimization algorithms to solve it. And if you are interested in the math behind the algorithm, you should start paying attention to a math class. Optimization is widely used in every field. Yeah, in engineering, for example, when a company wants to build a chemical plant, it will run some optimization tasks to select the plant location and capacity in order to minimize the cost and maximize the profit. In stock market, traders use optimization to build their stock portfolios that helps them diversify the risk and maximize their earnings. For a trucking company, the route of each truck and the schedule for truck drivers are carefully optimized so that drivers are not tired and the cargo is delivered on time. So optimization is used in basically every field in any industry. And with the advancement of technology and computing power, it has an even more promising future. But it is not an easy task. Optimization requires that you have a good understanding of math, and you should also have some programming skills. So if you are interested in both mathematics and computers, optimization is definitely one of the subjects that you should look for in college. Well, you have already learned a lot about optimization today, and I hope that my presentation is interesting enough to get you excited about these topics. If you have any more questions about optimization related topics or about engineering field in general, here's my email and don't hesitate to contact. I'm more than happy to talk to you, and that's all for today.